Good evening, good morning, good day, good night, wherever you are in the world. I am Tim, back once again for the Speed Force Racing GP4 series, and in the nick of time with my co-commentator, as always, Oliver. How are you doing?
Knackered from training, mate. I literally just came on. Welcome to Monza, everyone. Welcome to Monza.
It's a good thing that I looked up when I did. I noticed you joined the party, so I gave it just a few more seconds to let you get settled in before I actually started in with our intro. So it's been about, 2 or 3 weeks since we've actually been able to commentate together because first you had to train and then I was sick. So it's nice to finally be back.
Yeah, definitely, man, definitely. Yeah, I can't wait for the race tonight, man. It's going to be such a good race. Cathedral Speed, Monza. It's going to be let's just say NASCAR-style drafting, would you call it, Tim? Would you just say?
Maybe down the front straightaway, and oh my goodness, look at what we're looking at now, Oliver. It is very cloudy, very foggy. We might just see some rain today. So anyone with a weather update, please feel free to send it our way.
Is it nice that we are reunited?
It is really nice that we're reunited, and, I hate that you're a little bit frazzled at the moment because I get the idea that you probably just ran in the door not 2 minutes ago, so I'm going to give you just a minute to get your bearings together while I talk about the point standings, because last week, of course, since I missed, I was not sure what happened, but it turns out that Kara was the winner, and second place was none other than Sonicox, so that brings their points battle even closer, or actually it kind of extends it a little bit, because now Kara has 173 points to Sonicox 165. Shadowlancer is in third with 117 points. Energy Dan with 111 and 110 points, belonging to Snellweg, last season's champion. That's your top 5. While we look at the constructor standings, though, AlphaTauri is still on top of the board, despite not having a win yet this season. They have 243 points to Renault's 228. So now that we're in Monza, this is a top speed track, and these are equal cars. So instead of asking you, Oliver, what team do you think this track is going to benefit? What driver do you think this track is going to benefit? Who do you think is really good on top speed tracks?
Well, I had to say the two of the AlphaTauri boys. Sonic Cork, he's another. Kara, in my mind, I think out of all the people, I think Kara is going to be even the favourite to win the race just because his pace at the moment is unreal. But in GP4, mate, it's completely unpredictable. We don't know what's going to happen on the first, even on the start, because of the chicane. That's going to be the first big standards, and let's see what happens when qualifies down. We'll go into the front towards the first turn, and yeah, but my money's on Kara to win this race, mate. He's really sensationally fast at the moment, but GP4, it's very unpredictable, very, very unpredictable.
So at the moment, we're taking a look at Need for Speed. As always, he is usually
the
first
back!
driver out. Yes, he is. He is back, and he's always the first driver out during the qualifying session, so we'll ride on board with him. And look at this, Oliver. It's actually raining on Need for Speed. So if he can get back around and get a fast lap, he might be able to get the pole here, because once the track gets wet enough, you're just not going to be able to compete with dry tire time. So Need for Speed needs to run the lap of his life while this track is still somewhat dry.
Yeah, because you think about it, as you all know, slicks and slicks on wet track never works. It feels like you're on ice skates. So hopefully...
Oh, and he is on ice skates. He goes off the track and into the gravel trap, hits the wall, spins around. He's still going, though, and oh my goodness, almost gets hit by the Red Bull of Snellweg.
Well, there you go. Could have timed that more better.
Looks like he got the car turned back around as we watch Snellweg coming around the final corner. We'll see where he ends up. Looks like he's going to be the driver to beat today, and Mike gets pole just by default here. Crosses the line. He goes a 121.605, a 122 for Shadowlancer, a 122.6 for Bossy Gaming. Both Shadowlancer and Bossy Gaming running a 122.6, and that might just be our pole position for the day.
You never know. The drivers are still out there at the moment. You had to see how they're all cracking down their laps.
A 121.497 for Smoke.
Very good lap for Smoke there in the McLaren. Very, very good lap there for Smoke.
So far, Smoke with our provisional pole time at the moment. And everyone else is starting to clock in a lot slower time, so I think that the rain is really starting to soak in this track.
And we all know Monza, Tim, it's a very low downforce circuit. It's mostly for the straights, but there is some couple of chicanes, 3 chicanes we can see on this track. 3 chicanes they can really put off, and of course the 2 left most as well. So, yes, there's a low downforce circuit, but you've got to benefit some downforce for those turns up ahead.
Watching Sonic Hawk as he goes off the track, but that is a good point to bring up, Oliver, because it's a low downforce track, you are not going to have as much grip as you might at another track. So when it starts to rain, that just makes that even more difficult to deal with, because you need that grip. When it starts to rain, you can usually stay out for, about a lap or 2 on the slick tires, depending on how hard it's raining, of course. But eventually you're going to have to pit for those wet weather tires. But when you don't have a lot of downforce, then the time that you can stay out on those slicks is significantly less. So, and I think that that's what we're seeing now, and I think that that's why Smoke with a 121.4 is probably going to be our pole sitter. But not going to count my chickens before they hatch. Going to wait and let every other driver set a time. But already we have someone electing to take the intermediates. That is Proliver in the Alfa Romeo. He has not yet come out on track, but he is sitting in the pit lane with the intermediate tires.
Probably he's thinking about it. I think Proliver's thinking about it. Knowing him, he could get himself up the board. Maybe he can take a little bit of advantage with those intermediate tyres. You never know.
Well, there's no benefit in going out right now, I don't think, because he needs to let the track really soak in, as you saw Need for Speed actually spin out once again, so he just cannot get any luck to set a qualifying time down. Unfortunate for Need for Speed. Titan Mouser, though, goes 13th.
Mind you, it can't be as wet as it can't be as such as a downpour Talladega in Xfinity on Saturday.
No, it cannot. However, with that, what was interesting is that it quit raining by the time that they were doing Victory Lane, or at least I think it might have. But regardless, Talladega does not have lights, so they would not have been able to dry the track in time and then get the remaining 20 laps underway. So congratulations to Jeb Burton on getting his very first Xfinity Series win.
By default. I'm joking.
Oh, by default, but some of the greatest drivers in NASCAR history have actually got a win from a rain race. In fact, Joey Logano became the youngest driver ever to win a Cup race at the age of 18 when he won at New Hampshire in 2009.
Sounds like Max Verstappen in NASCAR versions.
In a way, yes. How old was Max Verstappen when he won his first race?
He was 18.
18, all right, there you go. So Joey Logano is just Max Verstappen over on NASCAR, which actually Joey Logano had a pretty massive flip in the Cup race yesterday, and apparently he said in his interview,
was wild.
Yes, it was, and he said in his interview that the roll bar actually hit him in the head. So very lucky to to still have him talking with us and not having to go seek medical attention at a local medical facility. So very glad to see Joey Logano walk out of that. He wasn't too pleased, as you can imagine, but I wouldn't be either if a roll bar hit me in the head.
So who's out on the lap then? Is anyone out on the lap?
Actually, we got Proliver on the lap, so we're watching him now. We'll ride on board as he goes through the second chicane, rather, and just now going through the second sector. So Proliver, the first driver to elect to go out on the intermediate tires. Looks like G-Man's on the intermediate tires as well, starting his out lap, but Proliver's on his timed lap, and it looks like the track is finally wet enough to justify those intermediates, but Smoke still holds the pole time with a 121.4, and it's almost a guarantee that is going to be the pole for the day.
So what's Proliver thinking? He could get a very good time on those intermediates, but of course, since they're intermediates, they are going to be a little bit more slow. I wouldn't say a bit. They're going to be a little bit more slower than you thinking to the dry tire. But if you think about it, there's another way, Tim. How many drivers have set dry lap times? How many drivers have set dry lap times?
Let's see. It looks like we got 11 drivers that have set dry lap times, and Proliver dives down into the pit, so he does not want to set a lap that time. But if I was Proliver, what I would do is really use this as a practice session if they're calling for rain in the race. If they're not, then I would just pull into the pits like you did and just wait it out.
Not to mention that if you do get a super good lap time on the intermediate times, if you do get into the top 10, that's going to really help you strategy-wise, because then you can have the free choice of tyre. Because you're on the intermediates, you don't really need to. If it's a dry race if it is a dry race, you can actually have dry set of tyres. And I mean, you can pick any one because you don't need to pick the inters or wets on a dry track, don't you?
That is exactly right, Oliver, as we watch Need for Speed finally out there on those intermediate tires, so I'm sure that he'll have better luck setting a lap time this time around, and you got to hand it to him.
Come on, Harry!
Yeah, he can do it. You got to hand it to him. He's always the first driver out on track during the qualifying session, and no matter what, the guy does not give up. So he's already had 2 or 3 spins in the qualifying session because it started raining on him while he was on slicks. He just pulls it into the pits, puts some intermediates on, goes out there just to set a time. He knows he's not going to get the pole because Smoke has the pole with slick tires before the track got too wet. But he's still out there wanting to set a time just so that he can get a time on the board. Hats off to him.
Not to mention he's been through a very tough time in his personal life as well. So, but he's still racing with us. So, fair dues to Harry. He's doing superbs.
Yeah, but he did just have a moment and wrecked out of the qualifying session. Unfortunately, went through the gravel and hit the wall. So Harry, he has had a bit of a tough time, both on track and off. But hopefully, he got his bad luck out of the way already after that unfortunate off and DNF out of this qualifying session. So now that means in the race, it's just smooth sailing from here on out.
Hopefully luck can change for Harry there. Hopefully, but also Tim, we got to think of other things on this track. If you think about it, it's quite an easy track for time penalties because you think, well, you got the second left now on the exit, that's going to incur time penalties. You got the first corner, if you cut it too much, that's going to incur time penalties. And if you've got the exit of Ascari, that's a time penalty if you go too wide. And also the exit Parabolica, that's going to incur time penalties. Those are the four main zones, 4 or 5 main zones you've got to look out for time penalties.
And I think that we're going to see a lot of time penalties today. As you rightly mentioned, it's almost like a different kind of Canada, if you think about it that way, because Canada is definitely a track that gets you a lot of time penalties, as is Baku as well. So here in Monza, we're going to see a lot of them as well, and we might even see the winner decided by a time penalty. Of course, that's not really out of the ordinary. It's just something that we have to watch out for as, wow, look at that G-Man going off the track and into the gravel, but hanging on to it and able to keep the car going straight. So it seems like even the intermediate tires can't hold up in this rain, and it's not raining that hard, so I find it very surprising that these drivers can't hold on to this car unless they know that it's going to be a dry race, so they have their dry weather setup on, which, as you mentioned earlier, would be a low downforce setup, so they're just having trouble finding that grip in this rain.
I mean, I tried a dry setup before on a wet track, and yeah, it's not nice, but if you think about it, if you can get it right by your throttle control, throttle inputs, your steering inputs, your gearing inputs as well, if you can hook them all correctly, you can really set a really good lap time if you really hook your every bit of your drivability going on a wet track with a dry setup. It can work, you just need a very good drivability and a very steady right foot.
That's exactly right, and that steady right foot is probably the most important factor of all that. You cannot just mash the throttle like you normally would out of a corner, and really, even in dry conditions, you can't just mash the throttle in these F1 cars, but you can be a little bit more generous with your throttle control in the dry versus the wet. When you're in the wet, not only are you going to almost have to short shift to make sure that you don't spin those tires, you're going to have to ease onto that throttle at the same time, and you're going to have to balance that grip level and make sure that you have enough.
It's to minimize traction, isn't it?
Do what?
It's all about minimizing traction, isn't it?
Exactly. That's exactly right, Oliver. And you know this better than I do. You are actually a pretty decent wet weather racer, if I remember you saying correctly.
True. I have my moments.
So you might be hoping for rain tomorrow.
I always hope for rain, mate. I always do. I'm not having a great season, but we all have our bad seasons here and there. Just didn't score any points actually in Belgium last week, which is a bit unfortunate.
But you'll get there. You'll get there.
Yeah. Monza's my favourite track though. This is the race I've been looking forward to all season. Monza's my favourite track because I got such a great record. I mean, I got my first top 5. I think my first top 5 finish in Monza. Then I got a podium last season. So hopefully that record continues.
So just watching Snellweg here. He's on the intermediate tires going through Ascari chicane and now going down that straightaway. Snellweg, as we said earlier, he is 5th in points with 110 points. So that is a far off gap to Kara's 173 points, and we're over halfway through the season. In fact, it looks like we only have about 7 races to go, counting today, if I've done my math correctly. So Snellweg does still have a chance to get that championship, but each race that he has that he does not win, that is definitely causing him a lot more stress.
Yeah, true, because you think about it, then if you think about it, this is our last season on F1 2020 in SFR, but before we move games to the next one, F1 2021, that's going to be releasing in June. So, it's in July, I think. Yeah, July. That we're moving to F1 2021. And we got new tracks coming up, Tim. Are you looking forward to going to Imola, Portugal, and Jeddah next season?
Yes, I am very much looking forward to those tracks, especially Imola and Portugal. Those are going to be the tracks that I want to see SFR race at.
And Tim, what's your reaction to the F1 news that F1 is going to Miami?
I am very excited for them to go to Miami. I heard that apparently it's supposed to take place near a car park or something, which I'm not very familiar with the Miami area. I've only been there once, and it was nighttime, so I didn't really get to take in a lot of the sights, but I'm very excited that they're coming to Miami. I'm glad that there's going to be a second U.S. Grand Prix, assuming that COTA keeps their date as well, and I want to go to it. Miami is about a 12 to 16 hour drive from me, so I could make that in a day as long as I push. It's just money's going to be an issue, but if I can go to it, I'm going to go to it. I've never been to a Formula One Grand Prix, and I really want to go.
Yeah, it's at the I think it's at the Hard Rock Stadium, isn't it?
That I don't
Yeah, it's at the
know.
Hard Rock Stadium. It's at the Hard Rock Stadium.
Okay, so I've never been to the Hard Rock Stadium, so I'd definitely be using the GPS to get there, but I'm very excited that they're coming. I just hope that I'm able to go. I don't know when the date is yet. I haven't really looked into it because that's, so far away at this point. And there was also some more news that was released today, Oliver, that I want to get your opinion on. I have not got to read a lot about it, so I'm not sure how it's going to work, but F1 has announced that for 3 races this season, they're going to do sprint qualifying.
Yeah, I mean, I heard the news about it. I think it could work. They're doing, I think they're free trials. I think they're doing. So, I'm thinking that it could work because I think it'll bring Saturday a lot more. I think they're trying to copy what F2 do with their sprint races, but they're doing it opposite. They're doing the sprint race for their qualifying. So I think wherever they finish, they'll be qualified for the actual race on Sunday. But I think it's going to be a good idea. I think it brings a lot more action and a lot more entertainment to say to a Saturday. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love the normal qualifying format when they race against the clock. But, I don't know. I think, in my opinion, it could work, but I'm more old-fashioned. I'm more like the old qualifying setup. I like the old qualifying format where things get so intense in Q3.
I like that they're trying something new. A lot of fans, they might get mad about it because they feel like they're changing the F1 that they have always known and loved, or maybe they're just changing it to what they feel it shouldn't be. But the good thing about F1 making their own rules, well, to a degree, is that if this doesn't work out, if they don't like it, then they don't have to keep doing it after this season. So I see no reason to not try, because best case scenario, everyone loves it and it turns out to be perfect.
Yeah, very true, very true.
So it looks
now,
like
if you want...
Go ahead.
Yeah, carry on. No, you carry on.
Well, we're just at the end of the qualifying session, though, and Proliver is on his final lap. He's having trouble keeping that car pointed straight. Of course, everyone is in this rain. So Proliver currently in 15th with a 1:30.115, and now that qualifying is over, I think that just about confirms Smoke having the pole with a 1:21.4, which, of course, was almost a guarantee once it started raining.
So the bottom 11, they'll get the free choice of tyre, so that's going to be a certainty. So we had to wait to now see what they go on. That'll be very interesting. Could they go mediums or hards? You never know.
So what is your preferred strategy around this track, Oliver?
If I was the bottom 11, I would definitely go medium soft or hard soft. If I was in the top 10, I would definitely do soft medium. So really aggressive.
So really either a soft medium or a medium soft is what you're thinking is going to happen today.
It's quite an easy track. It's not really a tyre aggressive circuit, so but it's mostly for the straights. So I think the soft medium can definitely work out just fine.
And I guess really the only time that you have to worry about your tire wear is when you approach those chicanes, and of course you got to make sure you don't lock up the tires because that's just going to skid and it's going to kill your tires. But beyond that, you know, you're right, Oliver, that this is predominantly a top speed track. There's a lot of long straightaways, and the corners aren't that demanding to where it seems that you can really stretch your tire life out a little bit longer than what
Don't
maybe
forget
you would
another factor on this track as well, Tim, is the DRS change that's going to be happening on this track as well.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but here is our official qualifying results for the Italian Grand Prix. Smoke with the pole, Snellwagon second, Cara in third, Shadowlancer fourth, Bossy Gaming in fifth, Tommy Gunner in sixth, seventh is VXI, Scooter in eighth, The Bear in ninth, Stoxy 9 in 10th, 11th is Gizlodian, G-Man in 12th, Energy Dan in 13th, 14th is Titan Mouser, Podge Racing in 15th, 16th is Proliver, Lewis in 17th, 18th is Sonicock, 19th, Need for Speed, after unfortunately not being able to set a time, nor was Sonicock.
Sonicock didn't. Oh wow, jeez, did not realize Sonicock actually set a time. Wow, probably because I'm not in the session yet. Because my game is still updated. Because I was so busy today, I forgot to update my game, which is annoying.
You're not even in the session. I thought you were in the session, Oliver.
This entire time, no.
You just pulled a Ned Jarrett. Have I ever told you that story?
No.
Okay, so Ned Jarrett, he used to be a commentator in NASCAR, and he was a pit reporter. He was also a driver back in the 60s. The dude won 50 races in 10 years. And just to give you an idea of how good he was back in his day. He's currently still alive. He is Dale Jarrett's father. Anyway, during his commentator career and his pit reporter career, there was a moment, I think it was at Martinsville, where he had to go to the bathroom. Nature calls, right? So he goes into the bathroom, he does what he has to do, but then right about that time, he hears through his headset, and now we're going to go to Ned Jarrett in Richard Petty's pit. And Ned Jarrett, still in the bathroom, mind you, just completely rolls with it and just said, and now I'm here in Richard Petty's pit, and the crew are jumping over the wall, going over to the right sides and changing those tires, now switching over to the left side, jacking the car up and putting the left side tires on, and Richard Petty is away and back out on track. He's doing all this while he's still in the bathroom, and no one was any the wiser.
That's brilliant.
So you just had a Ned Jarrett moment, my friend.
Oh dear, but I love that. I'm glad to be one of those proper icons in the sport. That's brilliant.
And it's not even NASCAR.
Oh dear.
Just waiting for all the drivers to ready up, looking down this beautiful paddock. Looks like it's going to be another cloudy one and a very foggy race, but the question is there any rain in the forecast? We have not yet got a weather update, so we're just going to have to wait and see, but
we might have to go with the flow, I think.
Yeah, I think it's going to be dry, though, because a lot of these drivers, they really didn't seem that gung-ho about going out on intermediate. Some of them did, but Sonicock he didn't really seem to make much of an effort to go out there. He did run a couple out laps, but he didn't really get a timed lap in. Of course, he did have some problems, as most drivers did. But again, where they were having so much problems, I think it's because they're on the dry setup, and it looks like they are on slicks. So that means that it's going to be a dry race, at least for the beginning.
I want to say a big shout out to Sonic Hawking in this country, man. I mean, I saw a little documentary on India having a real tough timing with coronavirus. I mean, I found out that India have overtaken a very bad stat that they're the worst hit country with coronavirus. I mean, they're getting like 120,000 cases a day, and yeah, it's really sad. A big shout out to Sonic Corbin. He lives in India, so big fair dues to him. Big fair dues.
Yeah, my goodness, I did not realize that about India, but Sonic Hawk, he is very dedicated. Of course, we call him the boss man because he is one of the people responsible for not just getting this particular league of GP4 up and running, but SFR as a whole. You know, he is one of the main people here that really make it what it is. So, you know, we all really have a lot of respect for Sonic Hawk, and we just wish him the best, and we hope that he stays safe. Glad to see him racing with us today. And you got to remember, it's around 1 in the morning for him right now, so he stays up late on Monday nights in order to be able to race with us.
Fair play to him. Fair play. And he's in a championship fight as well, which is really good news to him. Which is really fair news to him.
And I'm sure that he would want nothing more than to finish this season off with a championship. And it is very much a possibility between him and Kara, two drivers that last season were not in a championship fight at all at this time of the year.
It's crazy how much a season can change when it comes to championship fights, don't it?
It really is, because in Australia, you and I, we thought that the Alpha Towers were just going to light it on fire. We thought that Energy Dan and Shadowlancer by this time in the season would have at least 5 wins apiece, or at least 5 wins between the two of them. And even though they're still leading the constructor standings, they have 0 wins between the two of them and just a couple podiums. So
but that's the thing, Tim. That's the thing. AlphaTauri are consistent with the points. I mean, yes, they don't win races, but as long as they get that consistency in the points, if it's 1 car or 2 cars, they just gather at the points as much as they can to keep their heads in the game in the constructors championship. In Formula One, the biggest word in the whole entire world of Formula One is consistency. And that's what AlphaTauri are doing.
And here we go, Oliver. You hear those itchy pedal feet. You hear those engines revving. The drivers watching the lights. You heard the lights. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We are green, green, green. Smoke leads them down into turn number 1. You got Snailweg in 2nd place. And a lot of jostling around for position. Look like it's almost 4 wide for mid-pack position. Need for Speed is in that. And we got Haas. We got Wings flying everywhere. The 2 Haas cars, I think, got together. And there's 3 wide in the back. And who is that? That is Shadowlancer in the middle of that, in the middle of Harry and Scooter Clem in the Racing Point machine. Everyone gets through. No safety car, but definitely a lot of damaged front wings, while Smoke still leads Snailweg by 6/10 of a second at the moment. Already things are heating up, though, as we ride on board with Scooter Clem going through the 2nd chicane, and the Renault is off track. And who was that? That was Snailweg that spun. Snailweg spun out of the 2nd chicane, and he is dropping like a rock. Smoke still in 1st. VXI in 2nd, 2.5 seconds back. Kara is in 3rd in that Renault. Tommy Gunner, substituting for Silo today, has made his way all the way to 4th place in that Mercedes. 5th place is Stoxy 9 in the Haas. Bossy Gaming in 6th in the Renault. And 7th is Scooter Clem with the Bear right on his tail. They're starting that DRS train that you were talking about, Oliver, but it does not have DRS yet. And the Bear overshot Ascari chicane, goes through the grass, and drops all the way down to 10th as Titan Mouser gets around him in the McLaren. Titan Mouser locked onto the back of Shadowlancer in that AlphaTauri, who is trying to lock himself onto the back of Scooter Clem in the Racing Point. He is starting to close in on it, but not quite there yet. Scooter Clem is having to deal with Bossy Gaming, who is right in his way. So Scooter Clem is trying to look around the track to try to find a way to get around Bossy Gaming, but not going to be able to do it. We have now completed lap 1, and Smoke led the first lap. VXI
Titan Mouser on the inside of Shadowlancer. Titan Mouser on the inside of Shadowlancer. He might have a look at Scooter Clem as well. Shadowlancer trying to get them moving side by side. They go through the Ascari, right with the chicane. Shadowlancer force Titan Mouser a bit wide there. And then there's G-Man going down the inside on the outside on those medium tires and gets past Titan Mouser. And now we got the Bear having a look at Titan Mouser. Side by side, they go before to go to the 2nd chicane. Oh, Titan Mouser's lost it. As he said, he has! Oh no, he hasn't! He got into the McLaren. It's in the gravel.
That could have been a lot worse, though, Oliver. That could have been so much worse for Titan Mouser. At least it's not a DNF. He can still recover. As we watch the Bear now trying to get close to the G-Man up there in 9th place, but the Bear just riding his own race at the moment. And after some of that carnage, I'd say that the Bear probably wants to give the car in front of him just a little bit more space, because when you see that happen in front of you and you get so close to getting involved in it, you really start to get just a little bit more cautious. So let's take a look at Scooter Clem, who is right on the back of Bossy Gaming now, using that slipstream, trying to go around the outside. Is he going to be able to do it? They're side by side, but so far Bossy Gaming has the advantage, and there was some contact. Scooter Clem goes off the track, and contact again. Bossy Gaming will not let up, and now Scooter Clem is cleared and move him up into the 5th position. Bossy Gaming back down to 6 for now, but using that slipstream, looking on the inside, they're side by side once again as they go down to turn number 1. Who is going to win out? Bossy Gaming with the preferred line, but Scooter Clem will have the outside line, or the preferred line, out of the 2nd corner, but will not be able to take advantage of it. Move Bossy Gaming back into the 5th position.
Bear right a little bit on the outside of the chicane there. He's also fighting with Lewis there and Pro Oliver. But right now, good move there from Bossy Gaming with that weight damage on him, doing a very good job on that Renault.
Now we got Podge Racing trying to fight Oliver here, or Oliver rather, for 12th place, and Sonic Hawk just behind him. So the two Ferrari teammates running 13th and 14th at the moment, not scoring points, not where they want to be, but it's still a long race to go. Lap 3 of 27. They could very well get into the points paying position, but they have to pick these cars off one at a time, and Oliver is starting to pull away.
Because Lewis
looking underneath the Red Bull of Gizlodian. They're side by side through a Ascari chicane. The Alfa Romeo versus Red Bull. And
great
Lewis wins out. Wow, look at that. That was a great move, Oliver.
Here we go. There's more going on. Jeez.
The Bear going by Lewis, and now Gizlodian following the Bear through. So Lewis made up a position, and then he loses 2. No, he hasn't lost 2 yet,
Parabolica.
Oh my goodness, and Gizlodian on the outside. He's finally been able to clear Lewis, and now Lewis is still dropping as Proliver, the Alfa Romeo teammate, is trying to pass him, and he does pass him. So now Lewis has to deal with Podge Racing back there in the Ferrari. They go into turn number 1. We're right on board with Podge Racing here as they go through turn 1 and now through turn 2. Lewis is in 11th place. We're right on board with him because Proliver is starting to turn up the heat on Gizlodian just ahead of him. And who is that in front of him? The Bear in the Racing Point machine. So the Bear, Gizlodian, and Proliver all locked in a battle for 8th place.
What a frenzy start to this race. 4 laps already done, and literally this DRS. And Gizlodian went a bit wide in the second chicane. Dipping the left rear into the gravel. But what a frenzy start in the midfield, Tim, in this little scrap at the moment.
We've not even been able to talk about the battle for the lead because
G-Man
there's not a battle for the lead.
G-Man just got Scooter Clem for 5th with DRS. Very good move there from him. The Williams are 2nd and 5th right now.
And the Williams have had very decent points days.
Is that Scooter Clem finding back, Tim?
Oh, Scooter Clem, he is. He's using that or the slipstream rather, to try to get around G-Man, and just cannot make the move, could not get underneath him. So G-Man is going to hold on to that 5th position. Now Shadowlancer giving a challenge to Scooter Clem, trying to get around him for the 6th position. But will he be able to do it? Scooter Clem got a massive run out of the Parabolica corner, using it to his advantage to get underneath of G-Man, but is he going to be able to do it into turn number 1? Yes, he does. No, he doesn't. He thought about that breaking it, but couldn't. Shadowlancer goes around the outside. Look at Shadowlancer.
Wow. You little beauty, Shadowlancer. Absolute brilliance. Big size battling Tommy Gunner for 2nd. And Tommy Gunner gets his place back. Stock C9 is on the back of it now. Oh, what a great start to this race, Tim.
With Stock C9 and Tommy Gunner battling it out. Tommy Gunner, a reserve driver for Sima, who could not make it today, and he is now running into 3rd position. He could get a podium today. It's only lap 5, but the fact that he's running there, you gotta give him props. But he has got a fast driver of Stock C9 breathing down his neck. But I don't think he cares, because he is breathing down the neck of VXI, and Smoke, he is probably watching this, well, when he can, to look behind him and say, you keep doing what you're doing. I'm going to just lead this race and do what I have to do. He has got an 8.8
Can I just mention, Tim, that the G-Man is on medium tires and he's in 5th place right now. This is great stuff for the G-Man at the moment.
So if he's able to do a medium to soft strategy, he is going to be flying when he is on those soft tires, because at that point,
and here goes Tommy Gunner now to for 2nd. He's trying it, and Tommy Gunner gets the move stick. Well done to him. What about Shadowlancer and the G-Man? No. We got Gizlodian on the inside of Scooter Clem there. It breaks a little bit early. That's Sonic Hawk. Gracie Podge is in there as well. The Ferrari's having a little bit of a max. Oh, that was Lewis who went off. That was the Ferrari. Sonic Hawk. Sonic Hawk went through the barriers, and he's got a penalty for it. Sonic Hawk's having a great start to this Italian Grand Prix.
Looks like 2 Ferrari drivers have penalties. Sonic Hawk and Podge Racing as well. Podge Racing, he went a little bit wide out of that 2nd corner, and I guess you said that Sonic Hawk had to shoot through the 1st corner. So Sonic Hawk and Podge Racing, not the race that they need to have today. And where is Kara in all this? Kara is 14th place at the moment, so he is not scoring points at all. So our top 2 drivers are not scoring points. Shadowlancer is the highest driver in the championship standings to be scoring points right now. He is running in 6th.
This is great news for Shadowlancer at this rate.
That it is. He just needs to run his race, maybe try to get by G-Man, and just hang out from there. I don't think that Shadowlancer is going to be able to win this race.
2nd, 3rd, and 4th about to fight Tim.
That they are, as Tommy Gunner, he is a sitting duck with these drivers with DRS. VXI coming on him very, very fast and diving down low, and VXI has not cleared him, so VXI is going to have to battle through the first and second corners. He clears him out of the second corner, move VXI up into the second position. Tommy Gunner down to third, as Stocksy 9 is now having to deal with Tommy Gunner. Stocksy 9 using that slipstream very, very smooth through this set of corners. Approaching the second chicane now, but Tommy Gunner has got to run on VXI, just not able to make a move. He had a run, but wasn't close enough to try to dive down on the inside.
So right now, Tommy Gunn having a good race moment for Mercedes at the moment, doing a very good job that Simo used to do in the Merc. Let's see how Stocksy 9 deals with him. Good little scrub down the midfield as well. But so we got Smoke out there leading by 8.6 seconds. The reason why he's leading by, what was it, but now it's nearly 9 seconds, is because these three here are just scrapping away like cats and dogs right now. These lot are fighting. Shalalancer has gone past G-Man. He's now into 5th place now. But look at the G-Man. He's now trying to take back Shalalancer's position. Trying to get the Rousset down towards the inside. Does Parabolic, and there they go. It's Shalalancer versus... Oh, we've got a car out. That is Scooter Clem on the exit of the second Lesmo. He is out of this race. Side by side between VXI and Tommy Gunner. Go free wide going into the first chicane. Who's getting the move in first? That is, this VXI gets the move done. Beautiful racing from the free.
And Tommy Gunner dropped from second to fourth. You said that we were going to see some NASCAR-style drafting. I didn't think that we were going to see positions shuffling around quite like this. And now look at Stocksy 9 going around the outside of VXI. They're side by side into the second chicane. VXI with the preferred line is able to clear Stocksy 9 into the corner. And Stocksy 9 can do nothing but watch that Williams pull away. But he is going to reel him back in fast like a fish on the hook. But Tommy Gunner, he is following Stocksy 9 through. He is watching this battle. He is letting them do whatever they need to do because he knows that he'll be able to get his position back sooner rather than later, especially if they keep battling it out. Approaching the Scar chicane now. Stocksy 9 with a full head of steam going around the outside of BXI. Nothing the Williams driver could do. Moves Stocksy 9 up into the second position.
What a race.
Oh my goodness, VXI spins and he gets it to the Tommy Gunner, he gets it to the Mercedes. So VXI is spun, he gets it to the Tommy Gunner. Is there wing damage on the Mercedes? That is what we need to know. There is not.
No.
Oh my goodness, Tommy Gunner just got so lucky. If I was Tommy Gunner, I would go to the gas station, buy a lottery ticket, and just wait.
Wow. Tommy Gunner. The reason why he didn't get that wing damage is because VXI hit the back of the Mercedes. There was no rear wheel damage. There's none of that in the game, so he's very lucky to have that sort of situation. Shadowlancer G-Man, they're still scrapping the moment for fourth for the moment. Now that position's been changed. Sonic Hawk is now into the points now. Kara, where is he at? He's still in P13, nearly 1940. Now he's in P12 now because VXI's pitting. But yeah, now we need to figure out when these soft tyres going to last now. We've got to think on that situation as well. How long these soft tyres are going to last?
Well, they've got 8 laps on those tires so far. My estimate is I'd say that they're going to dive down about lap 10 or lap 11, but I could be wrong. We'll have to wait. We'll have to wait and see. And really, Smoke. I'd say that Smoke can stay out there a little bit longer than anyone else because he has pretty much not had to deal with anybody out there, so he has been able to take care of his tires, so he might be able to extend the life of that first stint just a little bit longer than everyone else, and that could make all the difference. A lot of drivers say that the undercut is more powerful than the overcut, but if you have an 11-second lead and can stay out an extra lap so that you have slightly fresher tires for the second stint, you might as well do it.
Here goes Shadow Tim. Here comes Tom.
So he's got that DRS active now. He's got that slipstream. He's approaching G-Man. He's got a run on him. Is he going to be able to go underneath him? He's going to try to outbrake him just maybe, but can't get close enough. So he has to follow him through.
Shadowlancer playing the waiting game at the moment.
The battle behind him is oh my goodness.
Oh, what happened there? Gisodian. He went off. Oh no! He's made contact with Sonic Hawk. Oh dear. Oh dear.
So it looks like Gizlodian, kind of locked it up, approaching the second corner, not the first corner, but the second corner. And then I guess he tried to rejoin the track, and he didn't realize Sonic was there, so they made contact, and that forced Sonic off into the grass.
So decided to come out now here in Italy. Lovely to see.
And here is Shadow Lancer. Him and G-Man approaching the Ascari chicane. Shadow Lancer dives down on the inside, and he makes the move on G-Man, makes it look easy. G-Man was a sitting duck.
But now, what's the tire life going to be? They're on 9-lap on softs now. The G-Man's mediums now is going to start to take effect now.
Point, Oliver, is that G-Man's medium tires, they are going to start to really come to life as Shadow Lancer is going to have to pit sooner rather than later.
Looks like,
yeah, Stocksy 9's already in. So Shadow Lancer, he's going to stay out for another lap. Smoke is not pitted yet. Tommy Gunner is not pitted yet. So Stocksy 9 going for the undercut here. Everyone else going to try to do the overcut, I suppose.
Oh, G-Man again!
And does he clear him? Does he clear him? Yes, he does. Move G-Man back into the third position for now. I'd say Shadow Lancer will take that back soon.
I think Shadow Lancer might stay behind the G-Man, just get a little bit of slipstream from him. Or drafting, as you call it. Or is he actually going to take him to the chicane here? Is he going to do it? No, he's going to throw it behind him. So yeah, I would say that the G-Man is going to be... Is he much more favourable for second right now on those medium tyres? Because they can really go a good, much more further distance than the softs. G-Man's on for a very sensational result here today, Tim.
I think you're right about that, Oliver, is that he might be the favorite for second, and that is assuming that Smoke continues on the course that he is now. 15 seconds over Tommy Gunner in second. And Shadow fighting him into the Sakari chicane, and oh my goodness, Shadow just barely clears him into that corner. So G-Man having to fight back. G-Man fighting back out of the Ascari chicane as Smoke pits. They're side by side approaching Parabolica. It is G-Man versus Shadow Lancer, Williams versus AlphaTauri, and the Williams wins out that time, clears Shadow Lancer, moves up in front of him onto the racing line just in time for the Parabolica corner. But now is Shadow Lancer going to dive down into the pits? He's down low, and he does go. So Shadow Lancer makes his pit stop. Smoke makes his pit stop. Will he come out ahead of G-Man? Yes, he does. He does. Smoke comes out ahead of G-Man, but will he be able to keep the position?
That is huge. What a good Smoke with all that clean air in front of him. And all that... Oh, and G-Man a little bit oversteering. But with Smoke having that sensational gap from what was a fight between Tommy Gunner, Stocksy 9, and... I'm trying to figure the other one now. Who's the other one in that fight? I can't remember. But yeah. Oh yeah, Vic Side. From all those three battling, Smoke got an absolute beautiful gap from them lot fighting and get ahead of the G-Man. Smoke is in prime position to win this race now.
And that, you're right, I was just about to say, Oliver, that might have been the move that wins the race. Even if G-Man had got ahead of Smoke, G-Man still has to pit. So regardless, I think Smoke would have been sitting pretty, but the fact that he was able to get out ahead of G-Man, which might very well be his closest competitor when this thing is all said and done, that just speaks miles for Smoke.
Oh, we never know. Shadow Lancer could be on the podium as well. Remember, Alpha... I don't think Shadow Lancer's got a podium this season. I think it is Tommy Gunner into the pits now, so G-Man will claim second place. But how long he'll keep that second place, I do not know. But he's in for a sensational result today.
Shadow Lancer actually does have a podium, Oliver. That came... Actually, he has two podiums. He got one in Vietnam and he got one in China. Oh, wait a minute. No, he's got three because he got one in Spain as well, apparently. So Shadow Lancer does have 3 podiums this season, just not that coveted win. His best finish is second place. You know he's wanting that win. Don't think it's going to happen today, but you're right that Shadow Lancer could be on for a podium as well. Of course, Tommy Gunner, he could be as well. Now that we have some...
Shadow Lancer. Snowwake trying to get past Shadow Lancer there, but doesn't get the position done there. It's the battle for 9th.
I think Shadow Lancer's got it, though. He's pulling away. He's got slightly newer tires than Snellweg. But you got to remember, Snellweg is the past champion, so he's a fast driver. We know he's a fast driver. He's had to get used to a few different things. He's had to get used to no traction control. He's had to get used to a brand new wheel this season, and he's still been able to win some races. So Shadow Lancer has one of the best breathing down his neck.
Not to mention that Snellweg had a very tough start to the season by learning all of that. And Snellweg, with those few victories, is in this championship fight mathematically, still in this championship fight, but never count out this Dutchman.
The Flying Dutchman of Speed Force Racing. That's what we like
The
to
Max
call
Verstappen in the Max Verstappen in the Red Bull. We should say, Tim, because he's Dutch. He's in the Red Bull.
You know what? It took me this long to realize it. You're right, Oliver. Hats off to Snellweg giving us a nice battle though with Shadow Lancer here. Smoke still leads 3.6 seconds over G-Man as Snellweg's having a look on Shadow, but is he going to be able to make the move? No, he doesn't. He had a look, thought about it, thought better of it, backed out of it. So Shadow Lancer is going to stay ahead for now.
So right at the field is starting to spread slightly. Big side by side with Sonic Hawk, go through Kuntos Curva Grande.
Actually, I think that is Podge Racing there that he's racing with, and Podge is locked onto the back of BXI. Wow, and he's looking on the inside of this chicane. He's going to make the move, and he has, but is he going to clear him? There's maybe a little bit of contact there, but Podge Racing has cleared BXI, so move him up into the 10th position.
The Battle of the Scandinavians, that is a Finnish driver up against the Swede driver of Podge. So it's the Battle of the Scandinavians, this one.
Let's see which one wins out. So far it is Podge, but we got BXI coming and coming hard, and side by side into the Scary chicane. You cannot do that very easily, but they're able to do it. Who wins out? BXI clears Podge Racing.
Beautiful move. Beautiful driving from the Scandinavians.
Looks like more pit stops are happening up toward the front of the grid. Lewis drops from 4th place down to 6th as he has to pit and continues to drop. Kara moves up into 6th place.
Lewis has gone onto the softs.
Now, that is a long time to be on the soft tires.
Isn't it just?
The most we've seen today was Tommy Gunner. He stayed 11 laps on those soft tires, and look at that. That is Lewis battling with BXI now after he comes out of the pits. So Lewis just barely missed getting ahead of BXI as he got out of the pits, and there was almost contact through that first chicane, but Lewis was able to keep it clean, as was BXI. But now he's kind of like the cream in the middle of the Oreo cookie between BXI and Podge Racing.
Oh, don't mention Oreos near me. I'm on a diet. Don't mention that.
I'm sorry, Oliver. I'm sorry, but I am an American. We have to mention food. And there goes Lewis around down the outside.
Oh, beautiful move. We've seen some lovely moves from these drivers today, haven't we?
We really have, and you got to remember Lewis on those soft tires. That was what really helped him out around the Scary chicane. That was what able to make him get in front of VXI. The question is, as we were talking about, is the soft tires going to be able to pretty much stay alive through the rest of the race?
Well, they're going to last, what's it, 10 laps? I don't know. We just have to wait and see.
So meanwhile, Snellweg is within half of a second of Shadowlancer, and Bossy Gaming is within 0.4 of a second of Gizlodian. So there's Bossy Gaming. Looks like there's a lap car going through them as well. But we'll ride on board with Bossy Gaming, as that was Need for Speed that actually went through them.
Yeah, I just want to give a little shout out to Need for Speed. He's a minute behind Titan Mauser, but he's still going out there, Need for Speed. He doesn't care. You know he's monitored. He
spun. He just spun.
But Need for Speed, he never quits. He never ever quits. He's a guy that shows inspiration. He does not care. He's one hell of a driver, is Need for Speed. He's crashed it. He's crashed it in the first Desmo. We had to get your hand off to him. He was running a minute behind 17 for Pro Oliver, but he was still going. So fair play to him.
Yeah, but that does bring out the safety car, Oliver. So that is the last thing that Smoke wanted to see.
I don't think Need for Speed would have crashed there on purpose. No. He's not that type of driver.
No, he would not have crashed on purpose. I think that he might have just clipped the grass and lost it. I did not see the start of the spin. I just saw the car sideways on the track afterwards. But Smoke, with 4 laps on those medium tires and everyone else behind him going to have soft tires, this is literally the worst thing that could have happened to him in this race.
Yeah, definitely. But now we're going to have a very, very, very interesting race going on our hands. I mean, Sonic Cork, who's running out to the points, and now he's in running 6th. Kara, who's running out to the points, he's now in 9th. So the championship contenders are going to get a little bit of points here today, Tim.
That they are. Sonic Hawk in 6th place at the moment. Kara in 8th place. Shadowlancer in 10th, as you mentioned. Snellweg in 11th, so he's flirting with it. He's not in points yet, but he is definitely flirting with it.
Smoke's got a 33-second gap to the G-Man. Is that enough, Tim, to get those tyres off and change onto the softs?
I think so, and I think he needs to pit now, and he is pitting. He is pitting. He just got a free pit stop, and he has slightly newer tires than everyone else. When you're under the safety car, your tires are still going to wear. It's just obvious. It's just not going to wear as fast as under racing speed.
Really? It's helped. That crash on Need for Speed actually helped out Smoke. So Smoke will be very thankful for Need for Speed because now he's on the faster tyre. And he'll have a lap fresher tyre than the G-Man has. So fair play to Smoke on that one.
And that's just how these safety cars go. Sometimes you think that it's hurt a driver, and then you realize, oh, wait, no, it actually helped him. And that's exactly what happened with Smoke. So you're right about that, Oliver. And look, he's still got 27 seconds over him, but now he's having to slow down and catch the safety car so that the rest of the pack can catch up.
This is going to be so interesting now, Tim. And now we're probably going to go, almost an 8-lap sprint to the line. It feels like Talladega already.
Yeah,
almost.
Oliver, it is Talladega. It might as well be Talladega.
It is.
This is the Talladega of Formula One.
And is it always at the Daytona? It's one of the two.
Monaco, when it comes to status, is the Daytona 500 of Formula One, I'd say. But when
because of its prestige.
Yeah, definitely. But then again, Monza has a lot of prestige too, but so does Talladega in a way.
I like your thinking there.
I see. Now, I would.
I'm sorry, gentlemen. We are NASCAR fans here.
Yeah. Now, did I make you a NASCAR fan, or did you just kind of develop it?
Now, you see, I used to watch NASCAR when I was a lad, actually, and I used to watch, when I was very little. But once we moved like TV providers and that, I couldn't find any access until we met Tim. And then you found me a service to actually rewatch NASCAR. I haven't watched NASCAR in years until you came along. So yeah, it has brought me back into NASCAR a lot.
I kind of rekindled that interest. And, honestly, I would love to have a stream to where we could just talk about NASCAR the whole time. Because it would be so much fun. It would just be so much fun talking about it because I love talking about it.
That's your sport because you're an American. You'll go on days and days talking about NASCAR. The history, the battles, the crashes, everything that goes with NASCAR.
Exactly, and I was born in the same town that Bristol Motor Speedway is located in, and Bristol is
pretty much one of the best short circuit tracks there.
Exactly, so it's very much been a part of my life. It's always just kind of been present there, just down the road when I was growing up. So, and I'm glad that I can share my love of this sport with a few new friends here in SFR, but also, you all teach me a lot about Formula One because I'm just a recent Formula One fan. My first race that I ever watched was the 2019 Bahrain Grand Prix where Charles Leclerc almost won and ended up finishing third. So I'm a very, very recent F1 fan, and I've just took that time since then to now to learn about this sport. And you all have helped me a lot about that, learning statistics and tire strategies and, and just how important some of these tracks really are.
And that's important about the racing community. That's how great this community is, league racing is, because it helps. You can learn a lot about Formula One. You can learn about new other things, and also the banter that comes with it as well.
Yeah, there's plenty of banter, especially during times like this, because it's a safety car. Everyone's pitted. There's not a lot to unravel until that silver Mercedes pulls into the pit lane. Then everything's going to unravel as it's going to this
yeah,
lap.
about that, the safety car, Tim. About the safety car. Is there going to be an Aston Martin safety car in the new gate? That'd be sick.
Oh, that would be. That, I want to see the Aston Martin now.
Here we go. Moke's now the safety car.
And he can go whenever he wants, as long as he doesn't reach the line. Once he reaches the line, then it's fair game. But until then, he controls this start. And is he going to go now, or is he going to wait? He did not catch him sleeping, though. He didn't catch him sleeping. There's really not much of a gap between him and G-Man. The question is, does Smoke have enough speed to carry into turn 1? Or is G-Man going to go around the outside? Smoke has to throw a block on him. Smoke throws a block, and he can't do anything with it. So G-Man is going to stay in second place. Smoke stays in first, and Lewis there in third, just trying to follow G-Man around. Lewis having a fantastic day. That safety car really helped him out. He was able to pit for soft tires and stay into a podium position. And look at Sonic Hawk. That's helped him out as well. He's in fourth place with semi-fresh soft tires to finish this race out. Just behind him, it looks like
I've lost connection.
Yeah, and just behind him, it looks like there is a little bit of battle for the 5th place and 6th place between Podge Racing, Gizlodian, and Stoxy 9. Just behind them still, Tommy Gunner, way on the back of Stoxy 9, moves him out of the way, side by side, through the first Lesmo corner. And now the Mercedes is having to deal with Cara in the Renault, who is in 9th place now. So Cara and the Renault going to score some points. Shadow Lancer still in 10th. The other Renault of Bossy Gaming just behind Shadow Lancer. It is a big train heading to the Ascari chicane. And who is leading this train? It is none other than the Haas of Stoxy 9. Then you got Tommy Gunner, Cara, Shadow Lancer, Bossy Gaming. Where's Snellweg in this mix? He is just a little bit behind. He is part of this train as well. So chugga chugga choo choo. That is what Stoxy 9 is saying. And as long as he stays ahead of him, he just doesn't care.
Chugga chugga choo choo, I love that.
And who is this diving down to the pits? Stoxy 9 dives down to the pits. What happened? There must have been some wing damage. So Stoxy 9 into the pits. Now it is Cara who is leading this train. Cara leads this train ahead of Tommy Gunner, who is trying to go around the outside, but there was not enough room, so he had to follow the Renault through.
Oh, harsh luck for Stoxy 9. He was having a sensational race.
He really was, and I think it might have been some wing damage. Did not watch his pit stop, but I feel that for him to have pitted at that time, it would have had to have been wing damage that got him out.
Oh, definitely, definitely.
Meanwhile, looks like Sonic Hawk is starting to get a little bit closer to Lewis, about 9/10 of a second, but Lewis is actually starting to pull away from the Ferrari driver. So we'll rejoin this battle for the points position up 10th place. Snellweg in 10th, VXI in 11th. Shadow Lancer has been able to move up to 9th. Looks like Tommy Gunner is right on the back of Cara, who is on the back of Gizlodian. So now it's the Gizlodian train instead of the Cara train. They're just picking up cars left and right, and they're just staying on track. Wow, Tommy Gunner.
Can I just say that if you look at the positions gained, look how many positions that Lewis has gained. Unbelievable stuff here from Lewis.
Is that 16 positions I'm seeing for Lewis?
Yes, it is.
16 positions for Lewis. Fair play. He could very well get himself a podium today.
And we've got a safety car. Safety car is out. Safety car is out.
Titan Mouser. Titan Mouser is crashed out.
Ascari. He's crashed at Ascari. Oh, dear.
So, do you pit?
And can I mention something else to bring on more bad luck for Stoxy 9? Look at the penalties, look where he is, and look what penalty he's got.
Oh my goodness, he has a drive-through. Was that speeding in the pit lane?
It's speeding under. It was speeding under the speeding over the safety car delta, and he got himself a drive-through.
Oh my goodness! So a bad race goes to worse for the Haas driver of Stoxy 9.
And look at Podge's penalty, 17 seconds. Oh,
17.
Ouch.
How did he pick up 17 seconds?
Ouch! I would say, ouch.
You know, honestly, when we go back green, we're gonna have like what, 3 or 4 laps to go. This
is Talladega.
Exactly. And that's going to put Podge Racing out of the points, I think, that 17-second time penalty.
And Gizlodian is going to be in the top 5. This is Gizlodian's best ever race.
So I'm sure that Gislodian is enjoying what he is seeing. He says, keep bringing on the safety cars. That way I don't have to battle with these guys any more than I have to.
I'm going to see who's got the fastest lap here. The fastest lap of the race. We can have a look. The fastest lap of the race goes to the leader, Smoke. 21.4. And I was doing 22.4, 22.8, 22.9, 23.2. Wow, Smoke is a sensation and a very comfortable day at the front today.
So good job to Smoke, and I think that Monza is his track. Just maybe. What do you think?
Maybe. Would you say?
I
Both
mean,
Ferraris are on penalties, so is that going to promote Gislodian a bit?
I think it will help him out. Let's take a look at Sonicoc's time penalty there. Looks like Sonicoc has 6 seconds worth of time penalty, so that's going to drop him more than likely outside of the top 5 unless he is able to get 6 seconds ahead of whoever ends up crossing the line in 6th place. So Sonicoc,
not to mention that Kara's got a penalty as well, so that's going to promote Shadow Lancer up a bit. So yeah, this is going to be really. This is going to put the championship fight really interesting territory, Tim. Going down towards the end of this race.
And Kara is dangerously close of falling outside of the points with that penalty. It's only 3 seconds, but he's in 7th. And with this safety car start, the field is not really going to be able to get strung out as much as it would if we had, say 10 or 15 laps to go. We're just going to have 3 or 4 laps to go. So Kara might not score points. If Sonicoc is able to stay in the top 10, and if Shadowlancer is able to stay in the top 10, they could have a very good day points-wise. Sonicoc could potentially leave here with the points lead, and Shadowlancer could leave here feeling pretty good about himself.
We'll have to wait and see. We have to wait and see. So Smoke looks comfortable up in the front. G-Man looks comfortable. Lewis could be on for a sensational result. Gislodian could be on for a very sensational result. I mean, this could be a few upsets here. Gislodian never has. If I could try and recall myself, I don't think he's never been inside the top 5 before. So Gislodian, this is one of his best ever races here in SFR, Tim, or probably the best race he's ever had. So it goes to Lewis.
Taking a look at the point standings, Gislodian is 15th right now with only 18 points. His best points paying position, or his best points paying finish this year, got him 6 points, and that was twice. That was in Canada as well as the Netherlands, so Zandvoort. So what position is that? Is that about the 7th?
7th, 6, I would say, yeah.
So right now he's about on par with his best result, but with the penalties from Sonicoc and Podge Racing, if he can stay close to them, he might be able to get his best result, like you were saying, all.
He could get 4th. I mean, this is a great chance for him to get 4th. But then again, he's got a car behind him, but he's on a penalty, so he needs to defend like crazy. Shadowlancer's in there, Snellweg's in there. Look at the drivers Gislodian has to defend against, and he's on medium tires.
He is on old medium tires, the same age tires as Podge Racing is on. However, Monza being the track that it is, that does help him out a little bit. If he's able to stay into the slipstream and get into a train of cars and just stay there, it might be okay. And I think that there might have been some contact at the back of the grid. It looked like there might have been some wing damage flying around, but no one getting any time penalty, so maybe that was just some random debris. But Smoke being the control car, we are back green. Lap 24 of 27, about to be lap 25 of 27 now. So 3 laps to go for Smoke in that McLaren. He has been dominant all day, so far led just about every lap. But the only one that matters is leading that last lap, and that's what he's going to try to do here today as they go through the first chicane.
Sonic's got a penalty.
What has happened here?
Wow. And that's the bear going off as well. I think that was the bear. Yeah, the bear's gone off. And Stocksy 9 is way down the order. Don't have to Stocksy 9. Oh yeah, it's taking his drive through, of course he is.
And look at Kara. He just sitting onto the inside of Gizlodian. Gizlodian gets the position back from Kara for 6th place. Kara is a man on a mission. He knows he wants the points. And there's contact between Kara and Snellweg. They were teammates last year. Not anymore, though. And now they're probably not even friends. Some contact through that corner. And now Bossy Gaming beside his teammate for just a moment, but now underneath the Bossy Gaming is Tommy Gunner, the Mercedes, the substitute driver who could have had a podium, had some bad luck, now trying to get his way into the points, breathing down the neck of Kara, going to the Ascari chicane. We ride on board with Tommy Gunner, Kara in 10th, Tommy Gunner in 11th, Kara doing the best that he can to score points, but so far he is not going to do that because of the time penalty. Ahead of him is Shadowlancer, and ahead of Shadowlancer is VXI and Snellweg battling side by side for a minute as they approach.
You keep going, Tick. You keep talking, mate. Keep going, bro.
Snellweg going ahead of Gizlodian, or trying to anyway, trying to chase down Gizlodian using the slipstream, but just behind him it is VXI and Shadowlancer driving side by side just about. Shadowlancer trying to make a move on the outside, but is he going to be able to do it? No, he doesn't. He thought about it, but could not make the move. VXI was too fast into the first corner, so VXI is in the 8th position. Shadowlancer is in the 9th position, but VXI does have a time penalty, so Shadowlancer can just keep it clean. He will be able to pass VXI anyway. Here goes Snellweg underneath of Gizlodian. He goes into the 6th position. They're side by side, but who is going to win out? It is Snellweg. Move the one Red Bull ahead of the other Red Bull. Snellweg in the 6th place, trying to score the most points as he possibly can. Gizlodian in 7th now, and seems to be dropping, struggling on those old medium tires. VXI breathing out his neck now, but VXI had a little bit of a moment with the back end, slid around just a little bit, but hung on to it, still in 8th place, as Shadowlancer in 9th is trying to chase down that Williams once again. Smoke still leads his lap 26 to 27. Smoke 1.8 seconds ahead of G-Man. Sonichawk getting close to G-Man, 5/10 of a second, as Gizlodian almost made contact with VXI that time around. Out of the Ascari chicane now, we have Snellweg still trying to chase down Podge Racing. Gizlodian still trying to chase down VXI. It's mostly a train of cars, but Shadowlancer has just went around Gizlodian as they approach Parabolica. Moves Shadowlancer up into the 8th position. Gizlodian dropping back down to 9th. At this point, all he has to do is hang on. He can get some points if Gizlodian can hang on for just one final lap, but he is not just wanting to hang on, he's wanting to make up a position. He's going underneath of Shadowlancer into the first corner. They're side by side through the first chicane. A lockup from Gizlodian will drop in behind Shadowlancer. Will it drop in behind Kara as well? Not yet, but Kara is there, but cannot get around Gizlodian. Meanwhile, Smoke still leads this race 2.1 seconds now.
Snellweg's got Podge. Snellweg's got Podge.
Snellweg battling with Podge now through the second chicane. Snellweg, Podge gets a little bit loose. That's going to allow Snellweg to get just a little bit closer. But how close will he be able to get? Will he be able to make a run into the Ascari chicane? The gap is just a 10th of a second.
Lewis is going to get his first ever podium, by the way, Tim, because of the penalty Sonichawk act. So Lewis will get his first ever podium in SFR. Here comes Snellweg on the outside of Podge. This is for the 4th place, 5th place position, and Snellweg gets him. And they're side by side they go, and Podge gets another penalty.
And Sonichawk runs out. Something's happened with Sonichawk. He is DNF'd outside of the Ascari chicane. So Lewis moves into 3rd. G-Man into 2nd place. Snellweg in 4th. Smoke rounding the final corner. He's going to cross the line. He is going to win the Italian Grand Prix. Congratulations to Smoke. G-Man in 2nd place with a podium. 3rd, Lewis with a podium. Congratulations on a good finish today, Lewis. Snellweg in 4th place, solidifying his championship chances. Shadowlancer jumping all the way to 5th place. Top 5 for Shadowlancer. Gizlodian to 6th. Tommy Gunner to 7th. VXI to 8th. 9th is Kara. Bossy Gaming in 10th. 11th is the Bear. 12th is Proliver. 13th is Podge Racing. Stocksy 9 in 14th.
How
Dan in
huge
15th.
is that going to be for the championship, Tim, with Sonichawk DNF at the end?
Kara gets 2 points. Am I correct in that?
Yes, he does, yes.
Not as huge as it could have been.
But
Sonichawk got very
Shadowlancer,
lucky.
that 5th place, though, he's definitely in this fight, would you say?
That he is. In fact, I'll tell you how much he had going into this race. Going into this race, Shadowlancer had 117 points. Sonichawk had 165. Kara had 173. Kara now has 175 to Sonichawk's 165. So there is a 10-point gap between them. Not sure about Shadowlancer just yet, but he does have a long ladder to climb.
So, Tim, who is your 4 drivers for driving today? Lewis is definitely one of them, for sure.
I would
Smoke
definitely
for dominating.
say Lewis. Smoke for sure. Oh my goodness, Tommy Gunner maybe. I'm gonna have to. Oh my goodness, I don't even know. I mean, Smoke and Lewis, definitely. I just need to look at the results, and then I'll be able to tell you. That was insane.
Yes!
I don't remember what I saw, but I know that what I saw was amazing, and that's the kind of racing you get at SFR. So here is your official results for the Italian Grand Prix. Smoke with the win in the McLaren.
Result, yeah.
G-Man with the podium in second place. Lewis in third. Snellweg in fourth. Fifth is Shadow Lancer. Gislodian in sixth. Tommy Gunner in seventh. BXI in eighth. Ninth is Kara. 10th is Bossy Gaming, the Bear in 11th. 12th is Proliver. 13th, Podge Racing, Stoxy 9 in 14th. 15th is Energy Dan, Sonic Hawk in 16th. 17th is Titan Mouser, Need for Speed in 18th. And 19th is Scooter Clem. So my votes for the driver of the day is going to be Smoke, Lewis. Think I'm going to have to give it to Shadow Lancer as well, and Gislodian, because I was very impressed with what I saw him do, holding off so many drivers with old tires.
Yeah, definitely. Could agree with you more on that one, buddy. Well, I'll let X Gamer know on that one, because he's our creator for our driver of the day. Well, wow, what a race! What a final incredible few laps that was.
Incredible. It doesn't even do it justice, Oliver. So we will be able to talk to our top three finishers, Smoke, G-Man, and Lewis, here in just a moment, so long as they want an interview anyway. But I need a break. I need a water break or something. That was intense.
Get yourself some water.
Beautiful finish, though.
GP3, good luck matching that sort of event. God, jeez. Just so you know, Tim, if you are watching GP3 tomorrow, don't. If you're gonna predict a winner, pick one of the Haas guys. That's my prediction.
Well, Mansell was able to win it last week in the Haas, so I'd say that that's a pretty safe bet.
So I need to get Lewis in. I don't have my phone on me, which is annoying. Lewis, now I need to know your numbers now. Great.
I wish I'd have known that. I would have been able to tell them to you.
222205? I don't know. You know what? I'm going to get my phone. I left it behind in the car because I rushed it. You carry on, Tim, talking somewhat. I'm just going to try and race to my phone.
Alright, so a little bit unprepared for the interviews today, but we'll get them in due time. Just waiting for Oliver to get back so that he can get Smoke in here, as well as Lewis and the G-Man. But for those of you still in the stream, still in the chat, let's have a conversation. What did you think about that race? Because I personally think that it was an insane finish. Those two safety cars, normally the safety cars I've noticed are a bit overrated. They happen, you think it's going to make things exciting, but then it doesn't. Today, it made it very exciting. Smoke says woo. And I'm sure you did. Lewis says 19th to 3rd. And that is just insane. So, Lewis, if you're still there, Oliver's went to get his phone so that he can invite you in. So if you want an interview, just sit tight. We'll get you in here soon. Snellweg says that was crazy, and I have to agree with you, Snellweg. But good job on getting the 4th place there at the end.
Oh, jeez, I'm out of breath. Too much running. God. I'm out of breath. Oh, too much running. And you say you need water. Right, let me get these drivers in. Oh, dear. Too much exercise for a fat man. Don't laugh!
You're laughing at yourself, though, and you're not fat, Oliver. Like, come on, bro.
Yeah, have you seen my stomach?
No. We live thousands of miles away from each other.
Exactly!
Just waiting for the top 3 to show up. Oliver's got to catch his breath for a minute here. He's already had a big day.
Oh, don't even go there. Just don't go there. Right, I'm ready to add them in now. I've got the phone on me. I'm all good. So let's go and get these drivers in. So Smoke. The joys of league
Smoke's
racing.
new nickname is Mr. GP3.
Oh dear.
Oh, and Mansell called it Rage Mr. GP2. Oh my goodness, we're starting to have some drama in the chat.
I love it. I love it.
Shadow Ledger says, "Get in, Lewis." Yes, exactly. That. Oh, I hate that I didn't say it. I gotta say it now though. Get in there, Lewis. Third place.
Well done to him. Well done to Lewis, man. Fair play to him to get his podium. He really worked hard for that. Yo, Lewis, how many bloody twos do you have in your PSN? Jesus. No, I'm not joking. It goes Lewis 2, 2, 2, 2. I'm confused on that one. Goodness me. There you go. I've added them in.
Mansell is Mr. GP1 now, according to Rage.
What's all these misters? Here he is. Here's Lewis.
There's Smoke just waiting on G-Man if he wants to show up. There is the G-Man right on cue. Alright, guys, so it sounds like you're all in here. So before we get started, please make sure that you've allowed your voice to be shared. If you don't know how to do that, go over to the party settings, click Always Allow, and let me know when you're ready.
Yep, I'm good.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes. Who is this I'm talking to?
G-Man.
Ah, okay, that's G-Man. Alright, so we got Smoke, we got G-Man. Do we have Lewis?
Yep, you did.
Okay, so first things first, we're going to talk to our winner of Smoke. Smoke in the McLaren, on the top spot of the podium, in Monza. Is this a track that you just run well at, or was this just luck today? Because you've had some good finishes. You've already had a win this year as well, but I did not expect to be talking to you at the end of the day talking about a dominant performance. Sure, I may be expected to see you on the podium, maybe even a win, but to have such a dominant performance that you did, at one point having a 15-second lead, just walk me through that and how that is for you and how you got
Tim.
Oh,
33-second gaps on that safety car.
Yeah, actually, yeah, you're right, Oliver. It was a 33-second gap there on the safety car. So just tell us about that. Is Monza just your track?
No, not really. I've spent the entire week just pounding in laps. I've done over 300 laps this week just because I was nervous about this track.
Whoa.
So, plus I had a new wheel, so I was also trying to get to grips with that quick. Yeah, it pieced together, just doing time trial, getting my bearings with my new wheel, getting the bearings of the track where I could take advantage. Then I did a load of Grand Prix stuff as well, just getting my race pace back up to where it should be, and obviously the bad results that I've had prior to this is what I needed.
So you made sure that you were going to run well today is what you're saying. 300 laps. Did I hear that correctly? 300 practice laps.
300, thereabouts.
That is insane, but hats off to you. I think it worked out about as well as it could, considering that you had such a huge lead at one point.
Yeah, I was a bit gutted with that first safety car because obviously I'd just gone past pit entry and I wasn't looking at the gap behind me, so I instantly panicked, thinking, oh, what do I do? Do I stay on the mediums? Do I try and risk going on the softs and coming back through? Then I clocked the 30-odd second gap and I thought, oh, actually, no, I might be alright. So yeah.
And it's funny you should say that because that was the emotions that I was having as well calling the race. Is I said that the safety car was the worst thing that could have happened to you in this race, and it turned out to probably be the best thing to happen to you because you had such a big gap that when everyone behind you pitted, that just doubled your lead. And since it was under safety car, you were able to pit and just keep the lead and be the control car.
Yeah, I haven't done any safety car starts in league racing or online, so it was new territory for me. And obviously I've done it in career mode, but it's totally different. It's AI. But yeah, doing it online, I was just sort of guessing. I didn't want a repeat of couple of the races from last year, from the Formula 1 season last year, where there was a big pile up, so I just thought I'll go as early as
Are
I
you
can.
mentioning Magello?
Might be. But yeah, I didn't know what would be the best idea to go, so I just went for it and stayed all the way to the right and covered turn 1 and hoped to build a bit of a gap, which I got lucky.
A bit? Are you saying a bit?
On the safety car restart, they had a tow.
So yeah, what's this momentum going to bring you to Singapore then?
Well, I'm hoping I might be able to stay in the points, because my target since I started as a full-time was to score points as frequently as possible, and I haven't really done that because I haven't scored the last 3 rounds. So I'm hoping to stay. My target's top 5, but who knows?
Well done, Smoke.
Yeah, congratulations to you, Smoke, on your win. I'm sure that you're going to enjoy that, and maybe more to come later on. Now let's talk to our second place finisher of G-Man. G-Man in the Williams finishing in second. You were fast today. You started on the medium tires. Of course, you know that. But I just don't think that you understand quite how fast you were from our perspective, because you were running in 5th around all these guys that started on soft tires, and here you are on the mediums, just pretty much on a Sunday drive, just like, yeah, I'm gonna pass you. So was it always,
especially that fight with Shadowlancer, Tim? My goodness.
Yeah, really. So, and I know that qualifying really kind of put a damper in things, pun definitely intended there. So do you think that if it had been a dry qualifying that your strategy would have been different, or would you have stayed with medium to softs?
Yeah, so I think I came out, I saw in qualifying it's going to rain, but I only noticed it like 2 minutes into quali. So I think I was the last car out and it started to drizzle. So I believe Monza's not my best track, but I'm not too bad at it. So I believe if it was a dry quali, I would have been maybe in the top 5. And then I think the results would have been different because I started P11, or P12, excuse me. So I'm quite happy with the result. When I looked on this left-hand screen, I saw everyone is on softs except myself, and I was a bit worried because I didn't think I'm going to make it. But yeah, I'm just grateful. And the battle with I forgot who's the guy that was behind me. We were changing the whole time. Gaming thing. Who was it? Sorry, I forgot.
Stay again.
The guy that was battling, that we were battling. Myself, and I think he was just behind Lewis. I forgot his name.
Oh, I forgot.
You just mentioned it. You just mentioned it. But anyway, I know it wasn't so. But anyway, no, it was fun. It was intense. But Smoke, well done, mate. Yes, there was no tow. I don't think it seems like there was a tow, but it wasn't a tow because you were just like 2 seconds clear on that main straight.
I was just trying to break you from Parabolica.
You were killing it, mate.
Thanks.
And congrats to Lewis as well. I was actually so scared because I was on 2 warnings. So yeah, I'm just happy.
Well, congratulations on your podium there, G-Man. You ran a fantastic race. Now I'm going to talk to the Alfa Romeo
There
driver,
we go.
Lewis. Lewis, you get a podium. You went from, and correct me if I'm wrong, 19th to 3rd?
Yeah. Yep.
What a drive!
So
I was just yeah, never mind, carry on.
No, you go ahead, because this is all about you. I was only going to ask, I mean, like, how much of that was the safety car, and how much of it was just you just being determined and making your way through the field?
I mean, I wouldn't have got the podium without the safety car. I mean, I was going very quickly. I think in the first straight I managed to gain like 5 positions, and I managed to stay completely clear of any penalties. I think I had 1 warning all race. But yeah, the safety car did help me. But when I saw everyone pitting onto new softs, I was thinking, what do I do? And I just stayed out, risked it, and my tyres just lasted. And yeah, managed to get through to the end.
What's this podium mean to you then, Lewis?
A lot, considering I haven't scored any points since like the 2nd race of the season, and that was a single point. I've been unable to get any points. I've barely been able to finish most races. So when the safety cars came in, all I could think of was, oh no, what happens if I don't get points now? I wasn't focused on a podium at all, and then just realised, oh crap, there's 3 laps left.
And how did that?
What was it like with those 3 laps left, Lewis? Was your heart going? Was you like, oh no?
All I was thinking of was survive, because I knew behind me Sonic had a 9-second penalty, and then behind him Hodge had a 17-second penalty. And I was just like, I stay in front of these, I'm fine. And then Sonic overtook me, but I was just like, just keep safe. I managed to get a good enough restart on the safety cars, and I was just like, yeah, just keep safe, get round, and I'll get a miracle podium.
So what was your strategy before the safety car, and how much did it change once the safety car occurred?
My strategy before the safety car was just, it was just because I came off the mediums onto the softs, and I was just like, okay, let's just try get past a couple of people who are on older tyres, and then, I don't know, try get 6th or 7th, just make sure I preserve the tyres to the end. And then the safety car comes out, and then loads of people pit, and I was thinking I could have a shot here if I stayed out on the softs, because they're only a lap or 2 old. So I was just thinking I'd rather have track position, and yeah, the safety car probably got me 3 positions at least.
Well,
And what about Singapore, mate?
I'm not a massive fan of it. If I could score any points in there, I'll be happy, because I've had this good result. If I can just carry it on with another good result, I'll be happy.
I didn't ask you, G, but what about you? What about you, mate? Singapore?
No, I love Singapore. It's one of my favorite tracks, so yeah, it's going to be interesting.
GG, fellas, well done.
Thank you.
And Oliver, do you have any closing thoughts?
Closing thoughts? We've definitely got a Talladega in this one, Tim, in Formula 1 terms. I would say it's been a fantastic race. I'm racing tomorrow in GP3, representing the Scuderia at its home race, so hope me and Giannetti are ready to represent the Ferrari team. And yeah, I can't wait. Monza's my favourite track, and I want to do Monza proud. I've got such a great record. But GP4 today, man, unbelievable racing, unbelievable clean racing. It's been such a great event, and I know that Singapore is going to be another great circuit and another good style of racing. A different breed of racetrack as well. Yeah, I can't wait to see what happens with GP4 next week.
Well, good luck to you tomorrow in the GP3 series, and congratulations to Smoke on your victory. Congratulations to our podium finishers. Thanks to everyone who watched the stream, and thanks to every driver who raced with us. And until next time, good morning, good evening, good day, good night, wherever you are in the world. Have fun, and goodbye.